Mary had always dreamed of having her very own bike. So when her parents surprised her with one on her birthday, she was over the moon. The bike was beautiful, painted a vibrant shade of blue with shiny silver handlebars and a small bell that rang with the sweetest ding. But there was something extra special about this bike that Mary would soon discover. After breakfast, Mary couldn't wait to take her bike for a ride around the neighborhood. She put on her helmet, hopped onto the bike, and started pedaling down the street. As she rode, she noticed that the bike seemed unusually smooth, almost as if it was gliding. She gave the handlebars a gentle squeeze, and to her surprise, the bike seemed to respond with a cheerful hum. Wow, this bike is amazing, Mary thought, grinning. She rang the bell, and to her astonishment, a tiny voice replied, "Hello, Mary. Ready for an adventure?" Mary stopped in her tracks, wide-eyed. Did you just talk?" She whispered too. "Yes, I did," the bike replied in a friendly voice. "I'm a magical bike, and together we can explore wonderful places. Just tell me where you'd like to go." Mary could hardly believe it, but her excitement quickly took over her surprise. "All right, let's go on an adventure. I'd love to see the enchanted forest." In a flash, her bike's wheels sparkled, and suddenly they were zooming down a winding path that Mary had never seen before. Trees taller than any she had ever seen rose around them, their leaves glimmering in shades of green and gold. Mary's heart raced with excitement as she looked around in wonder. As they reached a clearing, Mary noticed a group of animals gathered around, looking worried. A little fox with bright, curious eyes ran up to her. "Oh, hello," the fox said. "I'm Finn. We're in a bit of trouble here. Our magical pond, which gives life to the forest, has dried up, and we don't know why." Mary hopped off her bike and looked at Finn, determined to help. "Maybe I can find out what's causing the problem." Finn and the other animals led Mary to the pond, where only a few drops of water remained. Mary thought for a moment, then walked around the edge of the pond and noticed that a large pile of stones had blocked the small stream feeding the pond. "If we move these stones, the water can flow again," she said, smiling. With Finn and her magical bike's help, Mary moved the stones one by one. As soon as the last stone was pushed aside, water began to trickle, then rush into the pond, filling it up once again. The animals cheered with joy, and the forest seemed to come alive with the sound of chirping birds and rustling leaves. "Thank you, Mary," Finn said with a grateful bow. "You've saved our home." Mary smiled, feeling a warm glow of happiness. She climbed back on her bike, and as they began to move, she waved goodbye to her new friends. "Where to next?" the bike asked as they rode away from the enchanted forest. Mary thought for a moment. How about the Crystal Mountains? With a sparkly whirl, they were off again. The bike's wheels whizzed faster and faster until they arrived at the base of beautiful, snow-capped mountains where the sunlight reflected off crystals embedded in the rocks, making everything shimmer. As Mary marveled at the view, she noticed a young girl nearby, looking upset. Mary pedaled over and greeted her. "Hi, I'm Mary. Is something wrong?" The girl introduced herself as Sarah and explained, "I wanted to climb to the top of the mountain to get a crystal for my grandmother, but it's too slippery and steep for me alone." Mary didn't hesitate. "We can help you get there." With Sarah seated on the back, Mary and her bike took a winding path up the mountain. The bike seemed to sense where to go, expertly navigating the slopes and icy patches. As they reached the top, Sarah picked out a beautiful crystal that sparkled with all the colors of the rainbow. "Thank you so much, Mary," Sarah said, hugging her. "My grandmother will be so happy." Mary beamed, feeling her heart fill with joy again. She waved goodbye to Sarah and hopped back on her bike. "Ready for one more adventure?" she asked the bike. "Always," it replied with a cheerful ding. This time, Mary decided to visit a beach she had heard about called Sunset Cove. They zipped down winding roads until the scent of salty sea air filled the air. The beach stretched out before them, with soft golden sand and gentle waves lapping at the shore. As Mary rode along the beach, she noticed a baby sea turtle struggling to make its way to the water. She gently picked up the little turtle and carried it closer to the shore, watching as it eagerly swam off into the ocean. Just as she turned back, a voice called out, "Help, help!" Mary followed the sound to a group of children who were trying to build a sandcastle, but were struggling to get the structure to stand. Can you help us, Mary? One of the children asked. The waves keep washing our castle away. Mary thought for a moment, then had an idea. What if we build the castle a little farther from the water, and we can use shells and rocks to make it sturdier? With her guidance, they worked together to build a magnificent sandcastle, decorated with shells and stones. As the sun began to set, the castle stood proudly against the orange and pink sky, and the children cheered. Mary looked at her bike, feeling grateful for the amazing day she'd had. Thank you for bringing me here, she whispered to it. The bike's bell gave a soft ring, as if it was smiling back at her. As they rode back home under the starlit sky, Mary knew that her magical bike wasn't just about incredible places. It had shown her how wonderful it felt to help others, make new friends, and explore the world with courage and kindness. When she finally returned home, Mary placed her magical bike carefully in the garage, knowing it would be there for her next adventure, ready to take her wherever her heart desired. And as she drifted off to sleep, she dreamed of new places to explore and friends to help, knowing that with her magical bike by her side, anything was possible.